Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Have you ever covered a carpet stain with a rug? Ignored a leaky faucet? Pretended your half-painted living room is supposed to look that way? Well, you're not alone. We've all got unfinished home projects. Whether it's a door that sticks, or a disorganized closet, or an AC unit that only works half the time. It all matters. You just haven't taken care of it yet. But there's an easier way. Just download the Thumbtack app. You can search for what you need done and find tons of highly rated pros right in your neighborhood. Check prices, reviews, and book a pro right on the spot. Plus, you'll know what to tackle next, because Thumbtack is the app that shows you what to do, who to hire, and when. Pull out your phone and in just a few taps, say goodbye to all those unfinished home projects and say hello to caring for your home the easier way. Download Thumbtack and start a project today.
It's wild, it's wacky, it's slick, it's savvy, it's the Madcap Daffy, fracture, ding-a-ling, ring-a-ding, loony, zany, side-splitting, rib-tickling, slap-happy, scuzzy, dreary, irksome, tedious, banal, pointless, smutty world of...
The Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Let's be real. I'm all about being real. Well, I mean, I'm real all the time.
Dynamic, isn't it?
Jeff Lutz.
Let's be real.
We like it.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
Hello again, everybody. It is a Thursday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show on KFH Radio. Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz. We are with you until 4 o'clock today. Max Power, producing, engineering, 869-1240 is the phone number, the IHOP hotline. We've got the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, coming up a little bit later in the show. We like to talk to him.
Don't care for him. He was a New York Knick.
During the NBA playoffs, the Knicks are
dismiss him.
Have a commanding 2-0 lead now.
I don't know about commanding.
Well, they did what they had to do. They won their 2 games at home. Until you win a game on the road as the as a lower seed, you don't have a chance.
Well, I understand
you got to win a game on the road.
But let us get back into the series. Let's find our rhythm back in Indiana. We'll come back and win game 5, 6, whatever it's going to be. 4,
last
5.
night was your opportunity. They had some injuries. Jalen Brunson went out.
You haven't watched the Pacers. So it doesn't matter. Whoever the best player on the floor is for the other team is going to get 30. So if Brunson goes out, that just means Anunoby's going to get 30. It does not matter. It could be me, you, Misty, your wife, and my wife. I'd get 40 because I'd obviously be the best player on the court at that.
Well, why do you like this team?
I just like the team.
Well, if that's how bad they are, you've just described an inept team.
They're not inept. They're just not good defensively. But we try to make up for that with offense. Last night we couldn't get a stop. The officials, again, as Rick Carlisle pointed out, aren't giving us a fair shot. But we got to try.
What a whiner you've.
We got to try to overcome that.
What an absolute whiner you've turned into. As you could see, I'm preparing for our game tonight. Got my lineup card. I kind of plan out the positions. I go to a lot of work in this.
Sure.
And it takes me a while. And what I'm noticing of late, some real lack of strength in my right forearm. Is that anything to be concerned about?
Probably. You don't have to write like a madman. You can just kind of take it a little casual.
I'm talking about like, whoa, what happened here?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if there's a fix for that or not, to be honest.
I've got old man strength, no doubt about it.
What does that mean?
That
No
means old
strength?
men, as they get older, they get stronger.
They do? I had
Oh,
not heard that before.
Until a point. But I wonder if I'm on that downside point. Boy, it's...
Yeah, I wonder.
Maybe I need to lift some weights.
I don't know.
I'm going to get on that.
All right,
I'm
well,
going
good
to do
luck.
some curls here when I'm just at my desk and see if that helps.
Keep us posted on that.
Well, you don't really care.
That's right.
Why you don't care
Why would I care?
that I'm losing strength in my right arm?
No. No.
Explain that to the listener.
There's no reason to care about that. That's not a sign of anything. You're not falling ill.
Well, I think it is a sign.
It's not terminal. It's just
Last
hey.
night I had a lot of things going on.
Like what?
No, just stuff that it didn't feel right. My right arm does not feel right. So when I go to the doctor next, I'm going to ask him about it.
Okay. Well, snip it in the bud then.
Because it concerns me, but it's nice to know you're so glib.
No, I'm concerned when you have legitimate concerns.
Well, this seems pretty legitimate.
I think your arm hurts. I don't think
No, my arm doesn't hurt. It feels weak. There's a difference. My arm doesn't hurt. I feel no pain, except I feel a weakness in my forearm. I just feel it. It's not painful, but it's weakness.
Well, I'm going to guess, and I'm no doctor, but I'm going to guess that is nothing that is going to wind up being something serious. That's my guess.
I don't know. There's all kinds of things that can be serious.
Right. Most of those are rare.
Why do I disagree?
You can disagree. What do you think is more likely? That you just have a little weakness, maybe some wear and tear in your arm?
Here's my experience. Because frankly, I'm about 12 times smarter than you.
No, you're not.
No offense.
No, you're absolutely not.
On medical things, I am, just because I've been around more.
Okay, but you have to also consider what is more likely. And I'm not saying it's 100%.
I'm not saying anything's likely.
But what's more likely? That you have a little wear and tear in your arm, or that you're going downhill and this is something that is going to plague you and
I don't know.
lead
I felt
to your
it for
downfall?
a little while now. And it's very stark right now. So
Okay.
that's why I'm mentioning it.
Nothing in your left arm.
No. My
Well,
left arm's
Have you Googled right forearm weakness?
got as much strength as ever. My right arm, I don't know, man.
See, there's not even. I type in right forearm. Would you say numb?
Not numb, weakness. Why don't you get it?
Because I'm typing in a search and I'm going through all the options, and weakness. After I type right forearm, it says pain, numb, twitching, pain, ICD-10, whatever that is, tattoo, swelling, and tingling. Weakness does not even come up in the predictive. You haven't had a stroke, I don't think.
No, I haven't had a stroke.
Well, that's really about it. Radial tunnel syndrome.
Well, what's that?
It's something that it's your radial nerve, and it weakens. It's one of 3 nerves in your forearm traveling from the side of your neck. That's not it. You probably don't have weakness. I mean, it could be. Poor arm and wrist strength and flexibility.
What are you, a doctor now?
Failing to adequately warm up before playing sports. Is that something that we need to?
No, that's not what's bothering me.
Yeah, you don't have this. You have nothing.
And now we'll turn our attention toward our dog, Misty, who now at this stage of her life has started burying her biscuits in our furniture, in her bed, you name it. There's likely to be a dog treat.
So she can find it later?
This is brand new behavior within the last couple of weeks. So in my chair, there's always a biscuit there.
Really?
In Debbie's
chair. It's not really hiding it. Maybe she's leaving it for you.
Last night in Debbie's chair, there were 2. In her bed upstairs, there's a few.
She's uneasy right now, knowing we're talking about her.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with little Misty. But that's interesting behavior, wouldn't you say?
A little bit. I don't know what that is.
Now, dogs in the wild bury their food.
Is she burying it? You said she just left it on.
No, she's trying to bury it. She's trying her best to dig a hole and bury it. But in the chair, she more or less just tries to slip it under the cushion of the chair. Does that make sense?
It's, I don't know. Why does my dog bury her treats in my bed? If your dog has something that they think is particularly precious, like an especially delicious or long-lasting treat, something they have no intention of sharing, they may instinctively think that burying it is the best way to keep it safe so they can enjoy it later.
Well, there you go.
She doesn't want you to take
I wonder
her
why
treat.
she didn't do that all along.
I don't know.
The behavior initially was that if we gave her a treat, she'd immediately eat it. Now if we give her a treat, she'll put it in her mouth and look for a place to put it.
She wants to ration it a little bit. Doesn't have quite the appetite for a lot of treats, but she will eventually. She wants them later.
Apparently.
That's okay. I like that.
You have any behaviors or incoming weaknesses that you'd like to talk about?
No, but there's something I want to talk about. Something I've been thinking about. And I don't know why, but this affected me for some reason. I went to a Mexican restaurant yesterday, a fairly new Mexican restaurant. I'm not going to name it. I'd
love to know.
It was I can't because it was average. It wasn't great. It wasn't the best Mexican food.
You don't want to rip them.
I'm not going to rip them. But I also felt very bad because this is a woman who's trying to make it in the restaurant business. We were the only two people there until much later. A couple other people came in right around lunchtime. It was at noon. The woman was very nice.
Why were you off at lunchtime?
I went over to Aaron's thing after lunch.
And what was that thing?
Her senior awards ceremony.
And did she get any awards?
No, she got recognized for getting a scholarship to K-State.
Well, there you go.
But she didn't win any of the awards or other scholarships.
Are you bitter about that?
A little bit. Thought she probably could have won some.
You got a lot of grievances.
Thought
what's wrong with you?
Anyway,
why do you feel like everyone's against you all of a sudden?
I don't. But again, going back to the restaurant,
I want to get back to
really want this woman to make it. I want people to try her restaurant, but I can't now go say try your restaurant after I just said it was. But I want her to make it. I want her to.
Well, she's got to get better.
She seemed very nice. She had a grandchild there with her. It was all lovely.
Let's hope the food improves.
I know.
What made you stop there?
It was new, and I wanted to try it. I like Mexican food.
Is this a Wichita restaurant?
Of course.
Well, you'll have to tell me off the air.
Okay.
But we don't want to mention it on the air. That would be unfair to her.
It would.
I don't even know why you brought it up.
Because I've been thinking about it a lot. I don't like when people feel bad. So if she is at her restaurant and saying, man, we really want to drum up business. She said they'd been in business for about 3 months and, hey, no one's coming. And she goes home and feels bad or feels that she failed somehow. That affects me. I don't want that to happen.
Why'd you delve into it?
Because I need to get it off my mind.
Why'd you talk to her? What brought up? Why start that conversation?
There wasn't that conversation. I wanted to know legitimately how long they'd been there because it's in a fairly common part of town, and I had never seen the restaurant before.
Well, sometimes people make it. Sometimes they don't. Restaurants fail all the time.
I know. But when I want people to succeed.
We all want people to succeed, but we're also attached to the real world here.
I don't have to be. In my world, everybody makes it. Everybody's happy. Everyone
except for you and your grievances.
Yeah, I don't need to be happy. I don't need to be.
The Pacers, your daughter not getting awards, the officials cheating the Pacers, apparently school administrators overlooking your daughter.
Well, that happens.
I don't get why you're.
Her friend Bryson won a couple awards. One of the other theater kids won like every award. So I felt good for them. Felt happy for them.
An actor or a stagehand?
Colton Farmer, one of the actors, and Bryson, her friend, who's been kind of done both things. But she was in the last play, and she was very good.
Well, good. Aaron will be very successful.
I understand.
And I don't remember winning any awards in high school, except most
I wouldn't
handsome,
really want her to win awards. I think that's
most
nerdy.
congenial,
I think it's nerdy to win a bunch of awards, so I don't want her
best
to.
dancer. So those are the only ones I remember winning.
Yeah, those were it.
Do
Do you feel bad that your childhood and high school, young adult experience wasn't what you think it was?
Are you out
Or
of your
what
mind?
you portray it
What's
to
the
be?
matter with you?
Does that make you feel bad?
Are you kidding? My high school and young life through school was outstanding. I had the time of my life.
There used to be that shirt that said, "The older I get, the better I was." I feel like that's you. Like it probably was okay, but it was.
No, I'll tell you exactly what I was. Never played football. Played basketball.
See, that feels like you bring that up first, and that's a regret of some sort.
No, it's not really a regret. I probably should have. If I could go back in time and change something, I would have. But that's okay. I played basketball, then I got hurt my junior year, and that went by the wayside. And I played baseball my entire life, and I was good at it. I was a good pitcher. That's it. That's what I have.
That's it.
I was an average student, except when I wanted to be better, and then I could turn it on and become a much better student.
Well, that's good.
If I was engaged in something, I was a good student.
Yeah, same here. You never really gave me any leeway for that, though, for some reason.
No, you have to do better.
Don't be exactly like me.
You have to do better. Every parent wants their child to do better.
I guess.
Well, I mean, that's part of life. You bring a child or children into the world, and your expectation, your hope is that they exceed what you've done.
Is that really? That feels like a cliche to me. If Erin exceeds what I've done, great.
Well,
if she doesn't, and
some would argue she already has.
maybe she has. But if some would argue that she hasn't and didn't and won't, and she still lives a fulfilled experience, then who cares?
Well, what is a fulfilled experience?
Whatever that is, whatever that means to her.
Some people are driven for more fulfillment.
Right.
Some people aren't.
I
Some
think
people are fine in situations that would make others uncomfortable.
I think the more that you put yourself out there and try things, the happier you'll be. I don't know if that's too broad. Maybe the more successful you'll be, but don't stagnate.
Well, nobody's stagnating. Are you telling me I've stagnated?
No, I'm not. That's a general life advice. Try things. Grow, evolve.
Well, everybody should try.
Fail. I mean, failure's okay.
When have you failed?
All the time.
Well, you want to give us examples?
Not really. I've usually
Wait a
failed.
minute. Are you saying there's not enough time left in the show?
I've usually rebounded from my failures, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, you're a lot like that Mexican restaurant we talked about.
How do you figure?
Well, it's so easy to get you. It's so easy to get you.
You got me with that?
Yeah, I did.
Because I asked a follow-up?
I did get you. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I absolutely did.
I don't think that qualifies.
Well, I don't care what you think. All right, the Royals are continuing to play very well. And here we are on May the 9th. So when we come back here on the Bob and Jeff Show, we're going to talk about whether this can be sustained, because really the only caution, the only red flag I see with the Royals is their bullpen. Their starters have been good. Their lineup's been good. Players are getting better. They've got a good bench. So we're going to really take a look at the Royals.
We are.
And Jeff's American League Central. When we come back, the Twins playing out of this world. Guardians have been good from day one. Tigers have had very good moments. All four of those teams are still in the mix.
We took 2 or 3 from the Tigers. I don't think they're going to be one of the
I don't know that they'll be able to sustain it, but they need some people to start hitting. But we'll be back. We'll talk about that. Don't forget the X-Man, former Shocker great, longtime NBA standout, Xavier McDaniel, will join the show at 2:45 today. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs with the X-Man. Stay with us, Bob and Jeff on KFH.
Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Have you ever covered a carpet stain with a rug? Ignored a leaky faucet? Pretended your half-painted living room is supposed to look that way? Well, you're not alone. We've all got unfinished home projects. Whether it's a door that sticks, or a disorganized closet, or an AC unit that only works half the time. It all matters. You just haven't taken care of it yet. But there's an easier way. Just download the Thumbtack app. You can search for what you need done and find tons of highly rated pros right in your neighborhood. Check prices, reviews, and book a pro right on the spot. Plus, you'll know what to tackle next, because Thumbtack is the app that shows you what to do, who to hire, and when. Pull out your phone and in just a few taps, say goodbye to all those unfinished home projects and say hello to caring for your home the easier way. Download Thumbtack and start a project today.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I have no explanation for why I ended up doing what I do. Black Sabbath were actually the first rock concert I had ever gone to when I was 13, and it just changed my life. I just kind of saw my future.
All right, that was Lita Ford. She was on this show November 6, 2019, the song Hungry. We are highlighting musical guests from our past here on the Bob and Jeff Show.
I think Max is making all this up. I don't remember a single one of these. Did we have Lita Ford on the show?
Yes, we had Lita Ford on the show.
And I was here for that.
I don't remember if you were here.
There's no way I missed all of these. I might have missed a couple, but I don't remember any of them. But hey, good for us. Lita Ford, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Have we ever had Jacob Dylan on the show?
I don't know.
I'm going to try to get him. They're coming to Wichita, the Wallflowers.
I think we have.
Well, I don't remember. I don't remember.
I'm not 100% sure. 869-1240 is our phone number. It's the IHOP hotline, brought to you by IHOP. That stands for International House of Pancakes, for those of you wondering. And try the new If movie-inspired menu flavors like Blues Dazzleberry pancakes.
Does IHOP stand for any? I mean, I know it in history it has stood for International House of Pancakes, but I think it's just IHOP now, isn't it? Doesn't necessarily have a list of words.
Well, of course it does. That's what it is. It's the International.
I know what it
House
started
of
as,
Pancakes.
but I don't know that it still is.
Well, how can you not be something you were?
I think
I'm still
like
Bob
KFC
Luke.
is no longer Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Of course it is.
No, it's not. It's just KFC.
I'll call it Kentucky. Every time I want to go there, here's what I say to my wife. Debbie, what do you say we go get some Kentucky Fried Chicken this evening?
No one says that.
And you know what I'm allowed to do is to go get it. They don't ask me at the window. Now, when you were talking to your wife, did you make sure to say we're going to KFC, honey?
Well, I could say I'm going to McDonald's and I go to Wendy's, and they wouldn't say, hey, did you make sure you said Wendy's?
Those two restaurants have the same names. You're not going to make anything up.
Okay, Mickey D's.
Them.
Let's go to Mickey D's.
That's fine.
They're
but
not going to say
that's not an official name.
You're proving my point. IHOP is. KFC is.
If I pull up to the window and say, hello, is this Kentucky Fried Chicken?
No, they'll say this is KFC.
No, what they'll say is, yes, sir, what can we get for you?
Can I tell you why? As a marketing kind of guru.
You're not a marketing guru.
And a branding guru. They don't want to be pigeonholed. If you say International House of Pancakes, hey, well, what if I want an omelet? What if I want some waffles? Well, I can still go to IHOP, and it won't necessarily be me locking myself into a pancake.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I want pancakes, I better be finding me a place called an International House of Pancakes.
IHOP is still going to be famous for its pancakes. KFC is still going to be famous for its Kentucky Fried Chicken. Hold on. Dunkin' is still going to be famous for its donuts, but rebranding is key in this.
The first thing
economy.
I think of when I think about Kentucky Fried Chicken is fried chicken.
Exactly.
What else would I even think of?
But they have sides. They have
right. I
sandwiches.
know the sides.
They have potatoes.
I
they
got
have
the sides. What potatoes do they have?
French fries. I don't know.
Everybody has
mashed potatoes.
There's no restaurant called Come to French Fries.
Well, there could be Mr. Potato. I bet that's a restaurant. Arby's. You know why they're not roast beefs?
Because they
want to serve other stuff.
Roast beef. What does that stand for, Arby's?
Roast beef.
Arby's.
What's
the AR? Why do they have the A in there?
Well, it's
confusing.
Exactly. It's branding. They were ahead of the curve. They said we're not going to call ourselves RBs for roast beefs. We're going to call ourselves Arby's and make people wonder what it means.
You know, something we rarely do on this show is talk about what we say we're going to talk about leading into the break.
Yeah, don't do that anymore.
Is that let me ask Max, longtime radio guy, is that a drawback to the show, or is that something that Max makes this show unique, different, and lovable?
Is he talking?
What does Max have to do to get on the air? I mean, you've got to.
I can't hear anything.
Does he have to?
I was just typing you the Bob's on hold. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, but when we want you on the air, Max, I don't give a rat's you know what about Bob on hold.
Well, Bob, future Bob, future
Hold
Bob
on,
call
Bob.
back?
We'll get right to you.
Future Bob. I love
what are your
that,
thoughts
Jeff.
on that we rarely come through with what we say we're going to do?
That's not true.
Well, I said we were going to talk about the Royals, and many listeners were banking on that.
With bated breath.
Here we are talking about Arby's.
It's much more interesting, though.
All right, let's get to Bob. Bob, we welcome you. Thank you. I do give a rat's you know what that you held.
Yeah. Hey, since you're going to be talking to X-Man, do either you or Jeff know what's going on with the former basketball coaches, Greg Marshall and Mark Turgeon?
I do not. I have not spoken to either of those gentlemen in a while. Greg Marshall's still living in Wichita, I presume, and Mark Turgeon is still living in Maryland, I presume, or thereabouts.
Well, two good coaches. I'd like to see them get a job somewhere, but maybe they got enough moolah.
I'd say they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
That's all I need. Okay.
All right, there you go.
Future Bob.
Now, what beef did you have with Bob? You're calling him.
Never.
You're saying that I'm going to be him.
Yes, that's you in 5 to 7 years.
What's wrong with that? Why wouldn't I be happy to have that?
Bob sounds very happy.
So why wouldn't I be? You say that as if it's a derogatory comment.
You can take it however you want.
Well, how do you mean it?
I mean it that you're going to be sitting around in 5 to 7 years. Hey guys, do you know what happened to Billy Tubbs? And it's going to be something like that.
What if I am?
Well, he passed, Bob.
I mean, what's wrong with that? This Bob, not future Bob, current Bob, wondered about Mark Turgeon and Greg Marshall.
No, it's wonderful.
I mean, he's not alone.
Bob
is
Larry Brown still around?
There's probably 1,000 Shocker fans who would like an update.
Absolutely.
the fact that he called me to get that update is meaningful to me.
That should be.
He didn't call saying, you know what, Hazel, whatever his wife's name is,
Probably
I'm going to
Hazel.
call this show and ask Jeff.
No, he said, do either of you guys know?
He didn't say that.
He did. Rewind the tape.
He didn't say that. He said, Bob, do you know? And
Why don't you know then? Be reliable.
Well, I think I do know. I think the Marshalls are still here in town, and I believe Mark Turgeon and his family still live either in Maryland or the surrounding area where he last coached.
It'd be nice to have Mark Turgeon on the show at some point.
I almost had him, and then he decided not to. Maybe enough time has passed that we can get Mark Turgeon.
When was
about
this?
a year ago?
When he was kind of in the mix for the WSU
Yeah, something
gig?
like that. I don't know. Let's get to Bruce. Hello, Bruce.
Hello, guys. Hey, America's roast beef sandwich. That's Arby's.
There you go. That's what it stands for.
That's
I knew
that's ARBS. ARBS.
What about where's the Y come in?
Well, that's because we all want to go there. Why aren't we going there? I guess. I don't know.
No, it's America's roast beef yummy sandwich. I mean, that's
I
what
would
it stands
suppose so.
for.
Yeah, that makes sense
Thank you,
to me.
Bruce. There you
Okay,
go.
guys.
See that? There's another guy calling to get my thoughts.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I mean, it could have been.
Maybe.
America's roast beef.
That's
but
not what it stands for.
But we
RB.
We did miss the Y.
I think he missed the why. Why are we going there? Why are we going there? It's a good
Maybe
question.
this show's become a hit for older men who are, half-witted. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't.
I mean, that would fit me.
The Raffle brothers started RB's.
What's the name?
Are you talking to me?
Boy, what's wrong with your brain all of a sudden?
Well, I know
Let's get to Shannon. I'm tired of talking to you. Shannon, what do you have?
Arby's does not stand for roast beef. It just works out that way. It's actually, and of course, I don't know what that guy was thinking. It works out also that America's roast beef, yes, sir. But it started because of the Ruffle Brothers initials.
Raffle.
Raffle, whatever.
Yes.
So that's where you get it. But it all works out. You can say Arby's, roast beef. It just happened to work out that way.
No, I think it happened to work out that way because they said, what else stands for RB, or what else does RB stand for?
Well,
and they went roast beef. I don't think there's any coincidences out there.
I'm reading and it says Arby's does not stand for roast beef. It does come from the initials RB, or those letters stand for Raffle Brothers.
I know, but I'm saying once they figured out
Shannon?
we're Arby's, we're going to make roast beef.
Shannon, thank you for clarifying.
I don't think he did.
I do. I believe, I
Also-
feel like I know more about Arby's,
Also,
which is a
it
good
only-
thing.
it only-
I never get.
It only makes
Go ahead.
it only makes sense to say IHOP because who's going to say, hey, let's go to International House of Pancakes, right? I mean,
But I'm
that's too
saying-
Well,
long.
that's always how I introduce it to my wife.
Oh.
Oh well.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yep.
This
bye.
show's off the rails.
It's best when it's
No, this show's not even registering right now.
really.
There's no sense.
We've gotten
to it.
3 calls about basically this,
Right,
except
but none
for
of them
Future
have
Bob.
really amounted to a whole lot. No offense to our lovely
I love when
callers.
Shannon calls.
We'd all like.
I mean, he
Shannon.
found the same Yahoo article that I did that says Raffle Brothers, and who knows if Yahoo is to be relied upon.
Well, we didn't get. Here, we got a few minutes.
You remember when Arby's opened when you were about 9? Was that a thing?
I don't recall having an Arby's in Derby, and if it didn't open in Derby or South Wichita, there's not a great chance that we went. Let me
It probably
tell you,
opened in the
now you've
70s.
opened this up.
In
So
Canada.
here's the thing about growing up in Derby, okay?
All right. How did I open this up?
There wasn't this fast food at every corner thing.
I'm not talking about that.
No, but I am. So shut up.
Occasionally you drove to Wichita to get food.
Zip it, please.
Derby, 100 miles from the nearest restaurant.
No, there wasn't a real fast food craze even in Wichita.
Fast food was invented in Wichita, essentially.
Yeah, we opened a Pizza Hut. We opened a
White Castle.
But if you'll listen to what I'm saying, it's not like we just hopped in the car and came to Wichita every night. We didn't do that.
But
we lived in Derby.
I understand, but you would know if there was a Arby's.
And the thing about my upbringing wasn't like yours. Wasn't like you. We didn't have it made. We didn't have.
What did I have made?
Here's what happened. Dinner tonight. My mother's cooking it.
Right.
That's what she's doing. That was every night. There wasn't. Let's run up to Taco Bell.
If you guys were to go out to eat as a family,
me finish.
I want to know this: how often did you go out to eat, the three of you together?
Not in Derby. When that happened, it was normally a place in Wichita that we went to.
Spears.
Spears was a popular
loved
place.
Spears.
Sidman's restaurant on
remember
South Seneca was my dad loved it. They were the sponsor of the home runs for the National Baseball Congress.
Well, no wonder.
For many years. Sidman's, dinner winner. That's what they called it. That's a dinner winner from Sidman's. Can't tell you how many times I've heard about that. So those are the two restaurants I most remember going to. But what happened every evening in my house, my mother cooked a meal.
Right. That was how it was back in the 60s.
Right.
For better or worse.
Well, I actually enjoyed it.
Well, I'm sure you did. You didn't have to do anything.
What do you mean I didn't have to do anything?
You just got food put in front of you every night.
No, I had to clean up.
Hand wash dishes?
We did hand wash dishes.
Of course.
I didn't get to do that very often, but I was in charge quite a bit of drying the dishes.
What about setting the table? Was that your...
I did some of that.
Clearing the table?
That's what I said. I cleaned up.
Well, you said drying the dishes. I didn't know what that entailed.
I had my task. I had to take the trash out. I had my chores, as we called them in those days.
You still do.
So don't try to make it like I was just skating through life.
Well, it couldn't have been that difficult.
I didn't say it was difficult.
Well, you were kind of skating through then.
But it wasn't like today where it's a fast food restaurant, 7 of them on every corner.
Yeah, but most people still eat at home a lot.
I wouldn't say most people. I wouldn't. I would not say that.
I bet most people.
What do you eat at home? You pre-order something and warm it up. That's not.
No, I don't warm it up. It does
warm
not.
It up.
It does not come prepared.
They send you the items and you warm it up.
No, they send us the items and we cook.
You don't cook. What's cooking? It's warming it up.
No, it's cooking it.
They send you the items
to cook. It's like going to the grocery store.
Don't act like you're cooking.
I am cooking.
You don't have to chop it up. You don't have to go get it.
Yeah, well, you don't have to go get it, but neither do you because you have your groceries delivered.
So I don't know. It's time for the X-Man. Let's hear what we have preceding this interview.
The 85-86 season saw Experience challenged by the vibrancy of youth, like Xavier McDaniel, Seattle's unanimous all-rookie forward.
There you go, X. We want you to feel good when you come on this show. How you doing?
Okay.
So we're in the midst of the NBA playoffs, and it looks like the Knicks are going to make a strong run here. They're up 2-0 on the Indiana Pacers. Do you buy the New York Knicks?
I'll buy them for right now. I mean, they're up 2-0 with Game 3 to come, and they're playing very well. They're missing some key players, and they're playing well. So I don't think you can count them out. I think this series still got a long way to go because Indiana is at home for 2 games, and they play very well at home. So let's see how this Game 3 go. If Indiana can win Game 3 and Game 4, I still think it's going to be a long series. So we just got to tune in and wait and see.
So, full disclosure, the Indiana Pacers are the team that I root for in the NBA, and I wanted to ask you about the Knicks because I really don't like the Knicks. And you played for the Knicks. Obviously, New York is in love with the Knicks. They're starved for Knicks' success. They want a championship. It's been a long time. Do other people like the Knicks? When you went on the road, were there a lot of Knicks fans that followed? Were there Knicks fans in those communities? Or do you feel like it's just kind of New York's team?
No, Knicks fans are everywhere. They're everywhere. We would have fans in Indianapolis. Wherever we went, we would have Knicks fans. But, I mean, think about it. It's been 50 years, and they're starving for a championship. They came close a couple of times, but never got over the hump. So, and the Garden is very, very loud. I just know when we played Detroit and Chicago, I'm like, dog, man, it wasn't even this loud when we were during the regular season. And it was just like really, really loud. And so I've been there. I know that we were close against Chicago. And they're really hungry for a team to win a championship. You think about it, 50 years is a long time not to be able to win a championship, and New York being the Mecca, supposed to be the Mecca of basketball. That's a long time to go without winning a championship.
The X-Man, our guest, Xavier McDaniel, of course, one of the greatest shockers, if not the greatest shocker of all time, and a great NBA standout for many years. You spent 1 year with the Knicks, and that was a very good team coached by Pat Riley. You mentioned that the Chicago Bulls were in the midst of what they were doing at the time. But your team included Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, the X-Man. That's like, are you serious? All of those guys on one team. Let's say we had a tag team match between Mason, Ewing, and your teammate was Oakley. McDaniel Oakley versus Mason and Ewing. Who would win that tag team encounter?
Probably me and Oakley probably win it.
Yeah, you're going to take out Ewing. I mean, he's fine, but let's go.
Ewing was pretty tough, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, Patrick's a tough guy. He ain't going to back down. But I'm not going to say someone going to whoop my tail, so I'm going to always pick me and whoever else.
So, tell us about that. I'm curious. Jeff kind of touched on it, but your season in New York, playing for Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy was an assistant coach on that team. We mentioned some of the stars, and then we didn't even mention John Starks, another physical tough guard. Gerald Wilkins. What was it like being on that team?
Man, it was a fun team. To be honest, man, when you're playing in the NBA, it's very rare you find some guy you really, really don't like. Even when you don't like him and you're getting ready to play against him, you become pretty good friends. So I thought we had a pretty good, close relationship. Me and Patrick were friends. When I met Patrick with me and Aubrey, Aubrey already knew him, and we met him in the Pat Ave tryouts, and then we had the same agent, David Falk, so the relationship kind of built. And me and Oakley, we had our battles, and we always used to get into it. But when we got to New York, you come together, and now you're together. I've been adopted into their family, so we just went out and just played, man. Everybody got along. Greg Anthony and Mark Jackson were the distributors. They tried to keep everybody happy. So I think we got along fairly well. We all played cards together. Oak, myself, Patrick, Fox, Gerald, Wilkins. We all just kind of, and Mark Jackson, we all kind of played cards together and stuff. So I thought we had a really, really good group. It's just the fact that the stat side of business in the NBA back then, I got kind of left out on the cold with the contract.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wanted to mention before Jeff asked a question, on that team, Patrick Ewing started 82 games. Xavier McDaniel started 82 games. Gerald Wilkins started 82 games. Charles Oakley started 82 games. Mark Jackson started 81 games. That's unbelievable that all 5 of you guys basically were in the lineup you were in the lineup every night. The only night that that Jackson didn't start, Greg Anthony got his only start. But we couldn't even imagine that in today's game.
Well, I mean, they got this load management thing now where they're trying to say 82 games is too many games. I mean, you hear they want to talk about, you hear LeBron, well, I think we could cut it down to 60 games. Historically, the NBA's been always, I think he probably would want it to be down to 60 games because then nobody would ever break his record. But, if I'm able to play, I'm going to play. I mean, what job you go to and you play basketball and you get paid a lot of money for it. Even in my day, that's still a lot of money. This day is general wealth money now, generational wealth money. And so why wouldn't you want to play? That's my thing. Why wouldn't you want to play? I mean, you look, I think I played 82 games, 8 times. I didn't start missing games until I was with New Jersey. I think my first 10 years I only missed 17 games. So, and we practice a lot. These guys don't even practice. These guys don't even do tour days. We did tour days when I got in the NBA, and now I hear they only do one practice. So we did tour days, and we practice every day hard. So I don't know why they would want to be doing load management. I just think if you're able to play, you can play. You know, guys play with swollen ankles and swollen. I remember that year I had my surgery in '88, and I played how many games I played that year? 88, 89. I think I played 78 games, and I know I got my knee drained by at least 10 to 12 times. I get to the arena 4 hours before the game. They drain it, ice it all before the game, and then I go out and play. So I don't know. I think if you could play, you should play.
So you mentioned David Falk, and in the current NBA environment, big-time agents have a lot of pull, maybe even more than the general manager. They bring players together on the same team. They have a lot of influence, especially Rich Paul with LeBron. You had David Falk, you said, who was also Michael Jordan's agent. So what kind of influence did he have in basketball at that time, and what was it like being his client?
David was cool, man. I've never had an issue with David at all. I mean, he's always told me I work for you guys and you don't work for me. So, but I mean, he did my contract and that was pretty much it. And we talk occasionally, if he hears something that comes up that might have happened, like with the Dale Ellis situation or potential trade, he would call me. But other than that, I mean, he might have had some more influence with Patrick or some other guys. But with me, I was just happy that I was playing in the NBA and I was able to make some money and I was able to provide for my family.
Talking with the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, we talked a little bit about the East. Boston, I think, is still a pretty big favorite over there. But let's go to the West, and I want to ask you about the Timberwolves, Minnesota, and the fact that they went into Denver, the defending champion, and won the first 2 games of that series. And they look like they have the next superstar in Anthony Edwards. When you watch him play, what do you see, X?
I see a very athletic guy. Can jump really, really well. Can shoot really, really well. Handles the ball very, very well. Basically a complete player. And he's playing well. He's playing well at the right time because there's millions of people watching you right now. At the time where doing the 82 games, you may not have the same number of people watching just you. It's the 8 teams in each conference. I think it's 8. Yeah, 8. No, it's 16. What is it? It's 8. Yeah, it's 8 teams from each conference to make it. And basically, all eyes are on you on that particular game. You got more people watching you in the playoffs than you do during the regular season. And he's playing very great at the right time. And, after he do some things, he'll smile at you. So, I mean, he's a very exciting young player right now. Just hopefully that he can stay healthy over the course of time. That plays a big pivotal part in your career.
Does he remind you of anyone from your era? And I'm not talking about, or am I, Michael Jordan?
No. Think about it. They're not even the same size. I think he's about 6'5". Mike's about 6'4". He's way bigger. Look at him. He's big. He's a big guy, And I think it was either today or on my flight to Seattle for this appearance I'm doing. I read that he was a football player. And because I was wondering why he was kind of real stocky. So kind of say he's a very, very good athlete. I'm not going to compare him to Michael Jordan. I just think he's the best version of Anthony Edwards right now, and he's a very good player. I love watching it. Now I'm during the season, I might have watched maybe 2 Minnesota Timberwolves games, but this playoffs got me really intrigued on what he's doing now, and the way he's playing, and how he is dismantling the Nuggets team. So like I said, all eyes on him right now in the Minnesota Timberwolves.
All right, X, we always love having you on the show. Xavier McDaniel, 13 seasons in the NBA after a phenomenal career at Wichita State. X, thank you. We'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, there goes Xavier McDaniel, who's going to be 61 next month.
Still a young man.
Well, that's just remarkable to me how these athletes are in their 60s.
Yeah, a little bit, but a lot of time has passed.
When I started at the Eagles, one of the first players, the first great high school player I covered was Darnell Valentine. He's 4 years younger than me.
If the average lifespan
you not have anything to say about that?
If the average lifespan was 150, but people aged at the same pace, what do you think we would call old?
Well, I don't know.
Because 60, that's not old, but it's not young.
60 is the back end of middle age.
Okay. Middle age means halfway.
Middle age to me is 40 to 60.
Really? You get 20 years in middle age?
Yeah, you do.
So what's 0 to 40?
20 to 40 is young adult.
I'm in middle age.
Yeah, you're in middle age.
That's unfortunate.
And 60 to 80 is senior.
I don't think you can put
80 and above is
ancient.
Bob.
0 to 20 is nothing.
I call it Jim.
You can't call 0 to 20 anything.
Yeah, youth.
No, the difference between a 2-year-old and a 19-year-old is way bigger than the difference between
they're still youth.
32-year-old and a 49-year-old.
They're still youth.
I guess.
They're young. They're youth.
All right, whatever. I'll go with it.
All right, time for a break. When we come back, it will be hour number 2 of a Thursday show. We'll be back here tomorrow, hoping to get Clay Shively of Trinity Academy on to talk about his incredible high school track career. So we're working on it. We'll see what happens. Back in a minute.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, cool,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Everybody knows it. Toyota trucks are the stuff of legends. Rugged, durable,
everlasting. Toyota makes trucks that just don't quit. And now Toyota is driving that legacy toward the future with two of their most powerful trucks ever, the new Tundra and the all-new Tacoma. In a half-ton Tundra, you can rule the roads. From the comfort of a spacious cabin with connected tech and plenty of hauling power, the Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Or check out the all-new 24 Tacoma, redesigned and electrified to maximize your adventure. With a bevy of available off-road driving and power transfer modes, you will effortlessly crush the conditions. And with the Tacoma's reimagined interior, you'll do it in style. And right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a Tundra or Tacoma today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
Baseball is back, and so is MLB.tv. Watch every out-of-market regular season game on your favorite streaming devices, anywhere, anytime, all season long. Follow the action live or on demand. Track 4 games at once with multi-view mode and catch up with in-game highlights. Plus, original programs, minor league broadcasts, and local pre- and post-game shows. Go to MLB.tv to start your free trial today. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.